Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because we are in store for an amazing treat. We have an awesome special guest and a wonderful topic. I can't wait till we get into it. But before I introduce her and and we get started with the conversation, let me let you know what this show is all about. This show, the Freedom Friday show, is about supporting you as the entrepreneur and achieving success in your business and life harmony. Because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is possible to work smarter, not harder, stress less, strengthen your relationships, lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum, and receive your exponential prosperity and abundance that you're already called for in the journey of entrepreneurship. Victory is already yours. It's just about how you walk in it. And you're also going to have some great gifts today. So one of the gifts that I'm going to share with you, you're going to want to go to anotherlevelliving.com/harmony and access your 7 secrets towards more business and life harmony. So I want you all to give another level living welcome to our special guest, Coach India Willis today. India, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, it is my pleasure and my honor to be asked to be on the Freedom Friday show. I am just ecstatic to be here. And you are the epitome of someone who creates ease and harmony in someone's life. And I've been impacted by that. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's such a gratitude when we can be the example as coaches of what's possible, right? And there lies the
Absolutely.
beauty of this journey.
Yes.
Let me
Yes.
let
Yes.
them know who you are. So, everyone, we're going to be talking about the power of redirection today, the push and pull effect. And who is India? India Willis. She became the CEO of Life Activated Consulting Services in October of 2018 after spending 25 years in corporate America. As a resource strategist, she is in pursuit of helping women worldwide to create mission driven paths for purposeful living. And by utilizing her years of accumulated experience in mentoring and coaching and community service, India sought to serve women by inspiring them to live an activated life on their own terms. So, India is a certified emotional intelligence expert and also life harmony coach. She's also the member of an amazing organization that I love, which is the Women with Vision Incorporated. And because of her involvement in this organization, she is highly sought after as a facilitator, a speaker, and a trainer at various events, both virtually and in person. And also, she has a beautiful passion as a leader in the women's ministry at her local church. She also volunteers her time and talents as a coach and mentor, providing fun, foundational and spiritual principles to women seeking to increase their faith throughout everyday circumstances that may arrive. She is also the mother of three and has an amazing husband, Paul, for 35 years. And they have a beautiful dog, Duncan, which is so cool. And her motto
Talking
is,
grandma.
I love it. I love it. And her motto is be adventurous because life is an adventure. India, thank you so much for being here with us today. This is just so exciting. Um, Before we get into it, I want to ask you, why is this topic something that's so important?
Oh my goodness. I think people don't realize, especially women, I'm not kidding, because that's where my focus is. But in generality, our lives are redirected all the time. What's the problem with it? Is that we don't understand when we are going in one direction, that there actually might be a redirection, or we keep pushing in the wrong direction. When
Hmm.
we actually should be pulling back and move into a direction that's more serving or more fulfilling. So that's why this is such a powerful topic because women are having light bulb moments. I've been going down this road for so long. I've been going down this one path. And then they have an epiphany and redirect. And then all of a sudden, doors of opportunity open.
Hmm.
Self discovery happens, empowerment happens. growth happens, resilience. You see what I can go on and on. When you have a switch from going from a pushing direction into a pull direction.
Oh my goodness, this is so good because sometimes we can try to push something that's not meant for us, right? And the
Mhm.
reality is we can lose sight of what God is calling for us to have.
Yes, absolutely. I experienced this and I didn't know what it was. But if when you work, and many women can relate to this, but when you've worked in corporate America or whatever job that you've worked in, you keep pushing to go in that direction. You push to get the certifications.
Mm,
You push to get to the next level. You push to be seen. You push to be heard. And it's such a struggle. And you're
mm,
wondering constantly why it's such a struggle to be noticed or to get those certifications, those requirements, until you pause and just ask yourself, is this the direction that I need to continue to go down? Is this
mm.
the path that's right for me? But we don't do that because we've been in the moment, right? And so
Yeah.
it doesn't ever feel comfortable. For most, it never feels comfortable. I've never not had one woman say to me, I feel good doing this. I've never had one, but I've had many say, gosh, if I had just taken a moment to ask myself, is this the right direction for me? So what happens is that epiphany comes, and then they realize, wait a minute, this other path really looks good. It looks fulfilling for me. I think I really think I need to explore. So that's where resiliency comes in. Is when redirecting your life goals and requires resilience. Yeah, how do you bounce back from a setback? How do you use the learning experience to guide your future decisions? Right? Self-discovery. We hear that term a lot about self-discovery, but what it means sometimes redirection can lead to is help you understand what truly matters.
Mm,
That's what happened to me. I found out that working in that role with that corporation, it was no longer fulfillment for me. It really did not matter to me as much as finding out what did. That's how the self-discovery kind of worked in my life. It really was a self-discovery journey. What skills did I have? What could I focus on differently? How could I think differently? Because
mm.
if you have worked in corporate America, you get trained to think one way, to show up one way, to go lunch at the same time. You're trained that way. But how do you expand your thinking? How do
Mm.
you expand who you are? How do you grow? And that's how self-discovery, you begin to ask those questions. And growth comes out of that self-discovery.
Oh, wow.
Embracing redirection can lead to challenges, stepping out of the comfort zone, but developing something new. That's the exciting part. And then opportunities. You didn't know what you didn't know. The
Mm,
opportunities begin to just come out of the woodworks. Hey, I got this training over here that I can, partner with you on. Or you look at, I didn't know I could be an entrepreneur. Really? What does it look like for me? So you see, it goes to a pull effect into areas that you didn't know was possible for you. You
right.
start pushing and you start going into that other direction.
This is so profound. Like one of the questions that was coming as you were talking is, what are some of the signs? Like, so because it's easier said than done, right? Like, what are some of the
Mhm.
signs that we know that it's time for that shift or that awareness? Like, based on what some of the work that you've done. Can you share with us some of that things to look for?
Absolutely. Frustration, not being fulfilled, questioning everything that you do, some anger. I've seen clients feel anger and they don't know where it's coming from. Um, Relationships, when there's a struggle in the relationship, you think, okay, I can fix it. Or I can, maybe that it's the other person, it's not me. You don't point your finger at yourself, right? So these are signs that you need to begin to ask better questions. Why am I frustrated?
Mm.
Why do I feel anger? Why do I feel unfulfilled? That's the beginning stages of starting to go through these steps of growth and self-discovery because you are asking the right questions.
Wow, that's so good. So amazing. I appreciate you sharing that because a lot of times we don't realize like that these things, these negative emotions or this dissatisfaction is actually calling us to be able to think deeper, to be able to go deeper on, what is that I want instead, right? What are
Hmm.
what are some of the strategies from your work that we can be able to embody to start really stepping into this. Because I feel like, when we're going down this push arena, it's like it creates like this tunnel, this rigid, hard, cramped road that you're going, trying to fight through, right?
Yes.
Versus being, and like we're contracted versus being expanded and in
Mhm.
wonder and in gratitude, like the fruits of the spirit.
Absolutely. One of the things I know that my clients will tell me, say, you have such a calming voice. Well, my calming voice is only one piece of the puzzle, right? Trying to bring that calmness into the situation. But I kind of develop what you call a scaling wall method. And wall has an acronym, because we all have walls in our lives, right? These walls are built up either through difficult relationships, job, children, whatever wall, or it could be trauma. It could be, um, just poor job satisfaction. We build these walls. Walls can come down. Walls can be climbed over. Walls can be, we can take even pieces out of wall and peek through, depending on what technique you want to do with that wall. So for me, my goal is I would like for the emotional barriers that have been created over time to come tumbling down. I
Mm,
would like to take a sledgehammer. That's me. That's how I work. I want to take a sledgehammer and help you break down those walls. And just like a natural wall, there's steps to scaling them, right? It'll tell you to stand so many feet back, take this kind of stance, and then maybe you take a running step toward the wall, then take one leg and put it on the wall, and then holster the other, right? There's always these steps. Well, just like scaling walls for me, for an individual that comes to me, I have achievable steps. And we're going to take that first step is address the emotional barriers. We need to know where you are. We have to wake up your current mindset so that we can see where you are in this process called life. And once you identify what those emotional barriers are, the rest is easy, right? We've all been there. Um, I can identify just coming out of a season with my mom passing. Well, we talk about their stages of grief, but there was an emotional trauma to me to for me coming out of that experience of seeing my mother decline and seeing her, go
mm,
through these different stages. I just wanted to shut down. So why would I want to shut down after coming to do that? So I have to address what emotional barriers or emotional stigmas that I was experiencing. And that's not always easy to do because sometimes we just want to hide. Right? It's
mm,
comfortable just to stay there. We don't want that deep emotional trauma to come to the surface because it evokes so much, right? It
mm.
causes us to be uncomfortable with ourselves. But that's the first step of being set free. That's the first step, bringing in that peace that you've been looking for that you didn't even know you could have.
Ah, that's so good. It makes me think about like how in our society, right, we're taught to stuff down our emotions, right? Like don't bring
Hmm.
those out. But the problem is when we stuff them down, they don't go anywhere. They fester, they grow, they manifest,
Hmm.
and it's so freeing. Like a lot of times people don't realize that, oh my goodness, when you actually lean into them and kind of let them process and move through you and be free from them,
Hmm.
there's so much health, there's so much prosperity, there's so much um abundance and expansion that can come from that. Oh, that's so good.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you what my clients, when they have that emotional release, they say, my shoulders don't hurt anymore. I say, yeah, because you've been walking around with your shoulders up around your ears, you know, until you
Yeah.
start releasing those emotions, you embody your surroundings. You become kind of larger than life because you're not shrinking. As you said, you're expanding because you let go of all that negativity.
So good. So good. This was so many amazing wisdoms and nuggets that you already shared. Tell us like based on everything that you talked about, like what would be the biggest takeaway that you want to leave us with today in this wisdom?
I believe that people, women everywhere, should not shrink from embarking on a journey with a coach. Lose the fear, take a leap of faith, and realize that you can be set free no matter where you are, no matter what circumstance you're dealing with. You could be an older woman in life and saying, well, I'm good, but why would I need a coach? It could take one session, one conversation could lead you into a whole different realm of living, breathing, and having even better relationships. I've had men who said, I need to talk to the person my wife's been talking to. Okay. Because when one woman is impacted, all her relationships are impacted. All children, sister, brother, husband, because they see a different woman. So
Nice.
I say, don't hesitate. Take a leap of faith. Make that one call and get yourself a coach. I did. I've had business coach, had a personal coach, still have them.
Nice. Nice. Ah, so good. So good. Because, a lot of times there's all these misconceptions about coaching, and we're going to be talking about that at another stage. But the
Hmm.
reality is the accountability. It's about you being able to embrace where you're going, right? And have that support along the way. Because it does not have to be the same way that it's used to be, or that we have this pattern of being of experiencing. You can give yourself a lighter way forward. A whole new, different world is waiting for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you said it so nicely. Coaching is not what it used to be, what we think it used to be, right? Or, this very, what I call in a box type box coaching. Coaching is a personalized experience.
Nice.
Every person is not going to be coached the same way.
Mm-mm.
Every person's story is different. So why would I coach you the same as I would coach someone else? No, it's different. It's personalized. And that way you're getting the best experience out of that coaching or one-on-one with whoever you're coaching with because it's tailored to you, the individual.
So good. So good. And speaking of which, how can we continue this journey with you? Do you have like a free gift that you can be able to offer us? Like especially for those who want to continue this amazing experience with you today.
Well, thank you for asking, Dr. Heather. I created what we call a empowerment blueprint. It is one that gets the conversation started for you, the individual. Okay. Um, You always ask, well, I don't know where to start. Where do I begin? The empowerment blueprint gets you to think about your story. Where are you right now? What's going on in your life right now? So it starts there. I have linked it to my website, lifeactivatedconsultingservices.org. So that way you can get your free gift and get started um, right away. You don't have to wait.
Yay! Oh, that's so good. We're gonna make sure we put those in the comments in the show notes. And for all of you who are listening, we want to hear from your wisdom too. Make sure you put in the comments your biggest takeaway from this message. And also, the sharing is caring. So if you've received the gift of redirection, which I know that you have, go ahead and share this message out and give someone else the gift of redirection as well. Thank you so much, Coach India, for blessing us with your wisdom and your presence today. This has literally been such a beautiful conversation.
Thank you, Dr. Heather, for having me here today. This is a great experience for me as well. So when there's expansion, there's growth, and I appreciate you so much.
Oh, I love and appreciate you too. And also, everyone in Another Level Living Land, let this message marinate into your mind, body, and soul. Go ahead and get Coach India's free gift that we'll put in the link in the chat below. And we look forward to seeing you again for another episode of Freedom Fridays next week. Thank you again and have an amazing rest of the day. Bye, everyone.